Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we are trying to discuss with auto wiring concept here. So we identified here to reduce some of the explicit configuration of this particular XML. So what we can do using this particular auto wire concept, we can try to reduce the our configuration file. So what are the ways we created the auto wiring concept here? We are having 4 ways we can work with the auto wiring concept here. Right. So what are the 4 ways we are going to work here? The 4 words here we identified by name, by type, and constructor and auto detect. So auto detect is deprecated. We did not discuss more about this particular auto detect, but the remaining 3 we discussed regarding. So how exactly the each one is working internally. Right. So now, so what we are going to do? So if we are defining with this particular auto wiring concept here, based on the particular property, the dependency beans are going to injected here. The dependent beans are going to injected here. Right. Now, how we can work with the explicit typecasting here? So I want to mix this both information. Like along with this particular auto wiring, I want to provide the the particulars configurations also. So let's observe here. So along with this particular auto wire concept here, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to enable this particular property also. So what happens internally? Now we can see whenever we are trying to work with this particular mixing here. So how we are mixing here? We are trying to write the auto wiring as well as we are trying to enable this property. So whenever we are trying to enable this particular auto wire, so we don't want to write so we can still use this particular property information here. Getting the point. So if I'm going to write here, what happens internally? Right. So with basically here, whenever we are trying to define this particular auto wiring concepts, along with explicitly the property configuration, explicitly the particular property configuration here. So what happens internally? Basically, we are going to get an ambiguity. So regarding this particular auto wiring here, so which one we need to consider here? Name of this particular by type do I need to consider, or so you are defining the particular explicit type property type here. So which one need to consider here? So you can observe whenever we are trying to providing this particular explicitly, then like employer details call quest here, what happens internally? So we'll observe. So which one is going to take priority? So if I'm going to run the same example, so here I'm trying to providing the 2 information. So the first one I'm trying to work with auto wiring concept, and second one I'm trying to enable the explicit configuration. So now you can see we are getting an exception here. Now you can see no bin name or question. Okay. So what we are getting no bin name. So the one bin we can't like commented, because of that we are getting an error. Now we can see what happening internally. So whenever we are interested to make this particular explicit wiring also, so which is giving an object information here, right? So what happens internally? Which one is taking high priority here? Whenever we are having any ambiguity ways, we can define this particular explicit configuration here. Sometimes what happens here, whenever we are having multiple bins with the same some implementation class name, some ID of this particular bin, what we can do? We can go for this particular explicit configuration. We can define the particular property as well as auto wire concept here. So even though we are not going to get anything here, happily we can execute this particular application, and we are going to find this particular the output of this particular bean information. Cutting the point. So sometimes what happens here, so just for understanding here, if you are trying to providing the explicit configurations also, we can execute this particular application without getting any exceptions here. So this is the reason I want to explain here how we can work with this particular explicit configuration of this particular property. So any questions regarding this particular explicit configuration? Okay. So we'll try to check with the scope of this particular beans here. Basically, what exactly this particular scope will contain here, right? And what is the default scope of this particular bean here? Now you can understand here. So as we discuss here, the container is going to create a object of this particular beans here. Getting the point. So we are not going to create here, just we are providing the information what kind of the object we want to create here. Right. So whenever we are trying to specify here, so along with this particular bean information, we need to specify the how many objects we want to create for request here. Getting the point. So how many objects we want to create for each request, or so our entire application, how many objects we want to create. So this information also we need to provide to the container, so that the container is going to check with this particular scope of this particular bean, and based on this particular scope, what happens internally? The container is going to create object of this particular bean here. Right. Now, so we are having this particular different scopes here. The first scope we are going to discuss here, singleton, and later we are going to discuss with the prototype here, and session and request. So these are the main scopes we are going to discuss here. Along with this, we are going to have two other scopes also. The two other scopes are here, WebSocket and applications here. So this basically, so this particular WebSocket and application, we are not going to discuss more, because using this particular Spring, we are going to work on the singleton or prototype, request and session. So these are the main four scopes we are going to discuss more here. Getting the point. So basically, we need to understand here how exactly this particular scopes are going to work here. Getting the point. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular scope here, so if I'm going to specify the singleton here, what happens internally? For entire application, so we are going to create only one object here. The same object is going to say to the for each and every request here. Getting the point. So basically, now you can imagine here. So we are having this particular now configuration file. You can imagine we are having company details here. Getting the point. So whenever we are trying to define this particular company details, how many objects are going to create when we are working with a singleton here? Only one object is going to create here. Getting the point. Only one object is going to create here. The same object we are going to reuse wherever we required here. Getting the point. Same way we are having another scope here. So what is the another scope here? The another scope here, prototype here. So for each request here, getting the point. So how many times we are trying to call this particular company details object here? So wherever we are trying to load this particular company details here, getting the point. For each time, the new object is going to created. Each time the particular new object is going to created for this particular company details object here. So this is the difference between prototype and singleton here. So this is very important here. So we need to think very carefully whenever we are trying to write any application with the scope concept here, because if you are trying to work with a singleton here, so we may get out of exceptions here. The same the particular same object we are going to reuse multiple times here. So because of this, what we can do, we can go for the every request or every object here, right? Object is nothing but for every bean here. If you want to work with scope, the prototype is better here. After executing the particular class information, the object will not available here, right? So this is the way we can work with the prototype scope here and request scope here. For each request here, we are going to work with we are going to create a new object here, right? So these are the main things we need to understand here, how exactly the particular objects are going to work here, right? Now we'll create a simple example on this particular scopes concept here. Now you can see we identified AutoWare here. Same way we are going to have the property called scope here. So here we can define whatever the scope we want to work here. So now we can observe here by default what is our default scope here, that is called singleton here. Cutting the point. By default we are going to have the singleton scopes. Right. So what happens whenever we are trying to make this particular singleton scopes here? So only one object is going to created for entire application here. So now you can see entire this particular Spring Core for this particular company details. We are going to have only one object here. The same object is going to reuse it for wherever we require this particular company details here. Getting the point. So this is very important. Now, so if I'm going to run here, so we cannot understand here how exactly this particular application is going to work. The same output we are going to get here. What happened? So we are getting some action. No scope. Hmm. Okay. So here we need to specify singleton here. So let me reset this particular perspective. Yes. So we need to remove this particular yes here. So we need to work on this particular singleton, not singletons here. So because of this, we are getting an error here. We'll observe. Now you can see. So basically, with the scope, so we are not going to get any the output difference here. The same output we are going to get here, but internally. So internal concept is very important here. What is happening internally? So only one object is it's going to create for this particular singleton scope here. Same way, what we can do. Getting the point. So same way we can work on the prototype here. So we can work on this particular prototype here. Now we can understand here how exactly this particular prototype is going to work here. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular prototype here, what happens internally? So it's going to provide the different instance here every time here, right? So whenever, how many times this particular object we are going to call, for each time we are going to get a new object information here. So this is very important here. So for this particular class, we are going to define different objects are going to return for each request here. Now, in our after completion of this particular example, we'll try to discuss more on this particular prototype here. So observe carefully what happened. So B name is creating here. Creating the bean with the company details and resolve the circular references. Default listable bean factory is defining bean first and simple. Okay. Register bean, post processor, get bean, initializing bean, get bean to get. Error creating a bean with the company details. Requested bean is currently in the creation. Is there any unresolvable circular reference? Okay. Uh, Let me check this error. So maybe because of this, we are getting anything. So we need to think. So why this error is coming here? Currently in creation exception. Okay. So we'll try to work with another scope here. Maybe because of this particular prototype, we are going to get any errors. Let me create a. So here, yes, this is correct. No scope register for this scope call requested. Now the request will not work here because this is going to work when the web related application. So that is we expected correct output we are getting. What about this particular? So prototype, what happens internally? So let me try one more time here. Okay, let me take from the Google here. So we need to understand here why this error is coming. So requested bean is currently in the creation. Okay. So is there any unresolved the circular references? So what exactly it is indicating the circular reference set to bean factory is here and get the bean and do get bean. So we'll observe why we are getting this error. Anything we are trying to miss? Okay. Auto wire. Bean scope. So they are working as a annotation example. So currently, okay, same exception we got here. So please advise to fix this. Use Spring use the special logic to resolve the circle dependency with a singleton base, but it won't apply the other scopes to break the circle dependency. But uh, Spring uses and a special logic for resolving external circular dependencies with a singleton beams. Okay, but this won't apply with other scopes. Okay, there is no elegant way to breaking the circular dependency, but a clumsy option could be resolved. So lazy. No. So, okay. So let me check here. Basically, for prototype, it has to work here. But first time I'm seeing this particular error information. So why it is failing here? So let me check with removing this particular auto wire. I'm not sure. This is not related to this particular auto wire here. So basically, this is related to the scope. So only this particular circular dependency which is going to handle from the singleton. But for the other scope, we are going to get this particular error here. So we need to think why we are getting here. Being currently creation exception. Okay, we need to think from the okay, it's closed. Trying to read the password property. My configuration class. This is circular dependence. Okay, which is trying to resolve the value for bean is gonna be used to resolve the value. So you get a circular dependency. I suggest you provide the encrypt provider instead of all you want to change the encrypt property header. I will throw provide the mechanism. Should work with version 2. Okay. I use something like this. Bean. Okay. Okay. We'll try to debug the code. So why we are getting this error? Is prototype currently in the creation? Yes. So we are creating an object of this particular company details prototype bean. Okay. So basically for this prototype, which is not working here, abstract bean factory. Fail if we are already creating this bean instance. We are assumably within the circular references here. Okay, check if the bean definition exists in the factory. Now, why this particular condition is failed? Okay. So singleton object from the bean. So this basically the spring only is throwing an exception here because of this particular condition. So we need to read here why this they made this particular condition here. If you observe here, so if this particular prototype creation based on this particular B name, we are getting an error here. Now we are assembly within the circular references here. Fail if we are already creating this bean instance. Okay. So let me start one more time here. So we need to find out basically, so the code saying one object is already created. So we are trying to create one more object. So we need to check like when this particular object is created. So now we can observe, no, object is not yet created here. So this is particular null here. What is happening here? So this section is going to give an false, and this is not. So okay, first time it is not giving here. Now, so we are first time we are creating an object, I hope, and we need to check the parent bean factory not there. Type check only. What is the type check? False. Okay, it is true. Make beans as created. So already created, add. Make the specified beans as already created or about to create. So this allows you to bean factory to optimize this caching for repeated creation of the specified bean. Okay. So what exactly it is? It is a array list. Inside this particular bean we are going to add. Okay, we are adding. Now get mid local bean definition. So company details, scope prototype, abstract files, lazy instance class, auto dependency, primary. Okay. So what are the args we are having? Null. So it's not a singleton. It is a prototype. It's a prototype, create a new instance, right? Before prototype creation, what they are doing? Okay. So we are going to get null. Okay. In the creation, they are setting here. Okay. Now here they are creating the bean. And validates. Okay. So bean creation is happening internally. Now directly we are coming here. So we need to check here. We are getting one. Yes. So this particular object is already created. Okay. Got it. So let me go back to the our company details here. Okay. So we are getting 14 error here. So employee, we are getting null. Let me make this particular auto-wire. Yeah. So observe carefully. I identify the issue here. Basically, what happening internally? So whenever we are trying to import those beans here, because we already identified this particular bean life cycle, whenever we are trying to implement the particular interfaces sections here, right? So bean name away, the particular bean factory away. What is happening here? So whenever we are trying to implement this particular bean, so one more bean is trying to create here. One more bean is trying to create. Because of this particular one more bean creation, we are getting the circular dependency exceptions here. So that is I identified, and we remove this particular information. We are able to create this particular application and we are able to run the applications here. So now you can observe using this particular prototype scope here. Now what we are doing here, we are going to create a object for each request here. So now if you observe in the maybe somewhere I identified here there. So they are trying to create the prototype being here inside this particular run method. I want to show you the method related information. So where they are trying to use. Okay, so to show here, let me run the same example in the debug mode. Now you can observe. So somewhere I identified here. It is a singleton. So what we specified as a prototype. Yes. So this is a prototype here. Inside this particular create bean, so you can observe here. So they are using the run method while creating this particular prototype bean. So what they are doing here inside this particular run method here. So when we are going to work on this particular run method, basically in the thread basis application here, for each thread here, now what you are understanding here, we are going to create one object here. For prototype cases here, for each thread, new object is going to created here. So this is I want to explain here. So this is the difference between singleton and the prototype here. For the singleton here, what happens internally? Only one object is going to create. The same object is going to share to the all the instances wherever this particular object is required. But here the prototype here, so we are not going to work on the same object here. For each thread, new object is going to create it here, right? And if we are trying to discuss with another important here, something called request here. The request related information we are not going to get here because we are not going to work with HTTP request and so the particular HTTP response object here, right? So whenever we are trying to work with MVC related application, we can understand here how exactly this particular requests are going to work here, right? So if I'm going to specify this particular request also, so we are going to get an exceptions here. We are going to get an exception because so now you can understand here there is no scope for this particular request here. Now you can understand here no scope is registered for this particular request here, right? So basically this particular request scope are we are going to work whenever we are trying to work with MVC related application here. And the final one, so we need to discuss this particular session here. For this particular session also, so we need to work on the HTTP session object here. We need to work on the HTTP session object here. So now we are not going to working any HTTP session related example here. So these two sections we are going to discuss whenever we are trying to work with MVC related applications here, right? So any questions regarding this particular request, sorry, singleton and prototype here, because the remaining two we are going to discuss in the MVC related applications. Now you can observe if I'm going to run the particular session also. So now you can expect here no scope is registered for this particular session here. Getting the point. So these two is not going to work in our the simple core module here. Getting the point. So this information I want to share here, and later if we don't have anything here, we try to move on to the default information here. So how exactly the initializing and destroying beans are going to? So how we can define this particular default init methods and destroy methods here. So for each bean we identified here, we can work with interfaces here. So something called initializing bean and destroying the bean. So now before going to work on this particular interface information, so we are going to have the particular bean tags here. So we can check with this particular bean tags also. We can define the initializing method as well as destroying method here. So what exactly the initializing method and destroy methods are going to work here. So to understand here, we are going to have init method. So we need to specify this particular init method. Whenever we are trying to specify this particular init method, what happens internally? For this particular bean call, company details here. So whenever we are trying to create object of this particular company details, so whenever we are trying to create this particular object of this particular company details here, what happens internally? So whatever the init method we are going to specify here, the particular init method is going to call. This particular init method is going to call. Same way, we are going to have destroy method. We are going to have destroy method. So this particular destroy method is going to call whenever the object is going to remove from the container. Right. So we need to specify the name of the method name here. So whatever the method we are going to create inside this particular company details class, so the company details class, the methods are going to execute here. Right. Now I want to specify the init method also. Init method. And the destroy method I want to specify clear method. So we need to define this particular two method sections here. So where we need to define? Here we need to define here public void init method. So we need to understand here so init method is called. Again, we cannot expect this particular destroy method when it's going to call here. So for understanding, I'm trying to write here. Now you can observe whenever we are trying to save this particular example here, if I'm going to run the same example here, what happens internally? So we can define before initializing the bean and after initializing the bean. Sorry, change the scope to we can work with the prototype scope here. Now you can see the init method is called here. How this particular init method is called? What we are doing here basically, so the init method is going to call before making before creating this particular the bean of this particular company details here. If you want to change anything here before creating this particular bean, what we can do? We can go for this particular init method and we can define here. Same way, we can work on this particular destroy method, something called the clear method here. What is going to do? So before creating before destroying this particular bean from the container, if we want to do any performs here, we can go for this particular destroy method here. Right. So basically, the destroy methods are going to call based on this particular container information here. So we don't know when this particular destroy method is going to call here. Right. So just for understanding, I'm trying to share the information. So now these are the for specific beans here. Cutting the point. So now you can understand here this particular init method and to desktop method where I'm trying to define. So this particular bean tag here. So that this particular init and desktop methods are related to this particular bean only. So that is nothing but specific bean here. So the company details we are having the specific bean. We can work on this particular init method and do desktop method. So if you are interested to work with all the beans, if you are interested to work with all the beans, what we can do here? What we can do, simply we need to specify beans level. So as we discussed here, these are the root tag here for all the beans here. So these are the root tag here for all the beans. So we can define here the init method and destroy method, so that this particular init method and destroy methods are going to call for all the beans here. Getting the point? For all the beans. So these are the init and destroy methods are going to call. Now we need to understand here. So what exactly this particular init method and destroy methods are. Now you can see we are having default init method and default destroy method here. Getting the point? Same way we can check with default auto wiring. So this particular default auto wiring is going to applicable all the pins. Right. So we'll try to check with the remaining one later here. So only we need to check with the lazy initialization here. Basically that we already identified here. So for bean factory, we are having the lazy initialization here. For application context, we are having eager initialization here. So these two things we need to understand very carefully here. So that if you want to override the basic lazy initialization here, what we can do, we can go for this particular default lazy init method and so remaining we identified here init method and autowire and destroy method. So now we can check with the default dependencies check here. So what exactly which is going to provide here for all the beans, we're having any dependency information or not. So how we can check with this particular dependency information? So if they are trying to write any property on the particular specific class here, so we can easily understand here the particular class is going to depends on the another beans here. So for this section, we can make here the particular dependency section. So we'll observe the merge and dependencies section later here, but remaining we are going to understand here. So if I'm going to provide this particular default init method, the same I want to add. So this particular init method. Here I want to specify this particular init method, and the same way I want to provide with the destroy method. So this particular destroy method I want to call this particular clear method here. Right. So what you are understanding here, whenever I'm trying to write these two information at the root level, so these informations are going to affect it to the all the beans here. Getting the point? So this information is going to affect to the all the beans. So we can specify whatever we want to work on the before creating all the beans here. Now, if I'm going to call the same example, we can understand here. So the particular init method is going to call. So but in the beans tag, we have bean tag. Yes, inside the beans tag only, we are going to have bean tag. So based on the how many beans we are going to have, so we are going to define these many beans tag here. So basically here, this information is specific to this particular specific bean here. No, it will not apply to the all the beans here. So if you are going to write here, so this is specific to the 1 bean. But whenever we are trying to write here the default init method, so this particular default init method only, which is going to applicable to the all the beans here, and this init method is going to apply to the all the beans. You can write any beans tags, no problem. All the beans tags going to applicable. So this particular init method is going to call before creating all the beans here. And same way, so we identified here, so instead of, if you are not interested to write this particular tags here in our XML file, what we can do, we are having, so two beans here. So the two beans we already discussed here, the initializing bean and disposable bean. So initializing bean, which is going to provide the after property set method, and the particular disposable bean, which is going to provide the destroy method. Getting the point? So these two like interfaces we already discussed in the previous example. Whenever we are trying to work with bean life cycle here. So to understand here, just simple one I want to add here. For this particular company, we are having initializing bean. Now you can see, so this is the initializing bean. So this particular initializing bean will have one method, something called, so after property set here. Now you can understand here, whenever we are trying to call this particular after property set, what happens internally? So which is going to work as a init method here. So this information is going to set before the beans are going to created here. Right. Same way we identified here, so the destroy method. Now you can see, so this particular destroy methods are going to call whenever the beans is destroying from the container. Now you need to understand here, so how exactly this particular destroy we are going to get here. So this particular destroy, if we want to get here, we need to implement the particular bean interface called disposable bean. We need to implement this particular bean called disposable bean. So these are the very important things we need to understand whenever we are trying to work with this particular beans information, and make sure here, so we need to like provide the basic information, what exactly the information so we want to create before calling or before creating this particular beans information here, right? So any questions regarding this particular init method and destroy method, and along with the scopes also? No. Okay, now you can understand here. So we are going to work with annotations example here. So as of now, we identify this particular configuration related information inside this particular Spring. Getting the point? So the simple examples are we identified here, how we can work on this particular, XML configuration here. The same example, how we can work on the annotations related example. So to work on this particular annotation example here, so what are the changes we need to make here so that the container will understand here? So these are the examples are related to containers here. Getting the point? So to work on this particular simple example here, first we need to specify the one tag here. So what is the tag we are going to work here? So now you can see here we are not going to get the particular tag related information. Let me click on this particular control space here. I'm getting or not. Now you can observe. Okay. First we need to add XSD. Context here we need to add. So to work on this particular beans, let me. So here I want to add context here. So after this particular context here, I want to copy. So if I'm going to clear, so you cannot understand here like what we discussed in the previous example. So because of this, I'm trying to enable, like I'm trying to comment this particular sections here. Okay, this example we can work on the one more configuration file. So let me clear. I will try to create a one more configuration file. And Spring configuration annotations example. Right. So we are going to work on this file here. And let me copy this section into the configuration file. So we'll try to work on these configurations now. So we don't want to work on this particular. Right. Now we identified this particular context information. So these sections are very important here. Now you can see if I'm going to give the control space. So how many information we are getting here? Something called alias, bean, description, and import. Right. But now I want to add one information here, something called XML ns colon context here. This is equals to I want to work with this particular context here. Let me change these sections of 3. So because now we are moving into 3.xsd, we are going to work on the annotation related example. So now you can see how many information we are getting here. Getting the point. So previously we did not get these many information here, but now we can understand here we are getting these many information here. So first we need to check here the context related information here. So where we are getting the context related information, now we are not going to get any context related information. Okay. So let me check here XSD context here, beans and context here. In the schema location, we are working on the beans and context here. No. So we are getting the constructor here. So basically I'm expecting the different one. Okay, where the double quotes are missing here. So this double quotes are working fine. So this is also working fine. So context also working fine. Okay, we enable and we close. Okay. It is not a double quotes issue. XML instance. Okay. Okay. Let me try one more time. So basically I'm getting here context XML colon XSD. No. Archetype constructor here. Context colon. So we'll check here. No, tag is not coming. So basically we are expecting this particular tag. It needs to come here. Oh, sorry. It will not come. So here I need to change. So forget to change here. Now you can understand here. If I'm going to remove, let me save here. So this is very important here. Whenever we are trying to work with this particular schema location, so the particular context we need to specify perfectly. Then only we are able to get the information. Now you can see Now we can observe here, we are getting all the information. Basically, I'm trying to expect this particular tag here. Context colon annotation config here. So basically, what we are going to do. So whenever we are trying to specify this particular tag here, so what we are going to explain here. Getting the point. So basically, so why we want to move to this particular annotations here, right? So what is the drawbacks we identified in the XML configuration? Because we did not see any exceptions here whenever we are trying to work with this particular XML configuration here. Getting the point. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular exceptional, what happens internally? Even though if we are trying to work with this particular auto wiring here, what we are doing is we are trying to increase this particular XML configuration, right? So only if I am trying to work with the auto wiring here, the properties and constructor tags we are going to eliminate, but here we are going to define the particular bean related information still. The particular bean related information still. So that what happening internally, we are going to work on we are going to increase the XML configuration file here. So to reduce this particular XML configuration, what we are going to do, simply we are going to specify the basic tags here. So the basic tags here, why we are going to specify here? To provide the information to the container, we are going to work on the configurations like annotations example here, right? So to provide the information to the container, what we are going to do? So we'll try to specify the first tag here, something called context colon annotation config here. Using this particular context colon annotation config here, so what we are going to do? The AutoWire related information we are going to work here. So we will observe how exactly this particular auto wiring concepts are going to work here. Right. So whenever we are trying to specify this particular auto wiring concept here, so this particular AutoWire annotation configure, what we are going to do? We'll try to work on the AutoWire annotations here. Getting the point. So we are going to work on the AutoWire annotation here. The simple example, we are going to work on this particular AutoWire annotation here. Now you can see, so what is the AutoWire annotation we are going to work here? Now, where is our company details class? So you are going to work on the same example, something called company details. So otherwise, we'll try to work on the another example here, because so this example we already discussed with the XML configuration. Now we'll try to move on to the one more example so that we can work on the annotation example. So we'll try to continue this example, how we can work on this particular annotation related example. So to work with annotations example, what are the changes we made in the configuration file? So we are going to discuss in the tomorrow. So tomorrow is nothing but Monday we are going to discuss here. So basically tomorrow and day after tomorrow we don't have a classes here. So we'll continue the same class for Monday, and Monday the fresh concept we are going to discuss something called annotations example here. Okay, so anything you want to discuss here? Yeah, we can use the new package also. So we'll try to check with each concept we can create a new package and we can work on the examples here. So that we are going to have more more on the concepts wise. So how exactly it is working internally. Okay, so we'll continue Monday.